All right. That is my cue right there. When the recording buttons hit, that's my cue. What's up,
Unless,
everybody? Welcome to
unless we want to
the
wait for some more people to join us. But
uh I always wait out
Well,
this
we're
stuff.
at 7:03, so I
Yeah,
think
for
I don't
some
know. Do we wait 5 minutes or?
yeah,
I
let's
normally
Because
started
I
at
just got
five
a
after.
couple messages from people are still joining as far as what I can see. Something about finding the link, trying to join. So, oh, there we go.
La 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 la. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody today?
Great.
hang.
Today's weird.
Was it?
Why is it weird?
I feel like I'm there and I know it's the lunar eclipse. It is like the letting go of and peeling away. And so and it's in Pisces. So it has been I wouldn't say emotional where I'm upset, but it feels deep and emotional, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
today I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. What am I gonna do? And then as I was checking into the energies, I was like, this stuff is real.
Well, and the layers that are being exposed, I feel like, because it's almost like this era we're entering is one of you asked for this, now here you are. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Yep.
Either, so these ideas you are, have been asking for or presented with, and here's some more divine inspiration for you. Now what are you going to do with it? And it is because then you have to make choices, then you have to make changes, and none of that's comfortable.
You do. I'm gonna share. I don't know why I'm being tough.
Well, you going to share? I need to do the share thing. I think I need. Okay, you can share if you'd like to.
That worked. Let's see. That did. All right. Boom. All right, what we got? Six after 606. That's a good number. Cool. All right, I shared it out again. All right, guys, let us get started. It is 6:07. Welcome everybody to the Authentically Us panel. We're gonna start this off with Anessa today, starting us off with an opening meditation.
Hi guys. So and two, also just to kind of touch on our format a little bit, we're each are going to go through some I'm going to do a meditation, and then after that each of us is going to talk about like our practices that we do during this time in the full moon. Each one of us will speak, and then afterwards we will have time for Q&A. So during this time, of course, we would ask that you remain muted and hold your questions for afterwards. And then after that, if you want to put your question in the chat, there'd be a time for a discussion after that. So just because we think that the time to engage and ask your questions is very important for us too. So, all right. So with that, my name is Anessa. I have the business In Tune Healing. I am a Reiki master and psychic medium. I do sound healing and crystal healing in my practice as well. And part of what we do in this Meet the Readers and Authentically Us meetings is we like to bring us together with a opening meditation to bring in the intention for the meeting and bring us all together and bring us into center and get us ready to receive. So with that, I'm going to have everyone take some deep breath. So at first, we're going to go ahead and close your eyes, and I'm going to have you bring your awareness to your heart, bring your awareness to your body. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And with each breath, you're going to feel energy flowing in, clarifying, receiving energy. And with each breath exhaling out, we're going to release tension, heaviness, any energy that no longer serves us. And our intention that we're setting is to get ready to cleanse and release what no longer serves us and to receive any information from this meeting that is for your highest good. Continue to breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. We gently bring your attention to the crown of your head and imagining a soft stream of light coming in. This light is a light of protection, bringing in the white light of protection from all things seen and unseen, all forces and all elements. This energy pushes through our whole body, washes over your shoulders, down the spine, through your legs, down your feet, and into the ground, and releasing into Mother Earth, where we are now grounded into Mother Earth, where we can now release and transmute what no longer serves us, to open up space in our energetic body, in our mind, and our soul for what we do need. And as we breathe deeply and exhale deeply, we say to ourselves, I release what is not mine, and I let go what no longer serves me. And as you're doing this, you imagine any negative emotions, thoughts, feelings, anything that no longer serves you, releasing through your feet to Mother Earth, where we're grounding and transmuting that no longer serves you and making room for any information, any energy that is for your highest good. And we now imagine our entire body filling with white, radiant light that expands around us, expands into the room, expands beyond us, into our homes and out. And we say, I am clear, I am free, and I am renewed. Another deep breath in, another deep breath out, and I give thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So with that, I kind of like to bring everybody back to center from that now that we've released what no longer serves us. And now we have brought in some room to receive what is meant for us for our highest good. Today, I guess what I wanted to talk about, what this moon means for me, and what I've been reflecting on lately is I guess this is my harvest season, and this is the season that I am celebrating my accomplishments. I am celebrating who I am. I'm celebrating all things that I'm grateful for. I think it's a season of being grateful for what I've received. And that energy and that existence of gratefulness is it's an important energy to actually be in, because then you attract more of what else you want to receive within that. I'm a big law of attraction person. I think that what we put out comes back to us. I was actually reviewing some goals that I put for myself the other day, and I was reading them and I thought, wow, you know what? Here I am. This is great. And I think that's another reason why this is a time of just reflecting, of being grateful, and why it's important to release what no longer serves us, because we don't have room for that. We don't have room to hold on to what no longer serves us, because then that takes up space for what we want to receive. We don't want to hold on to things that no longer serve us. So what we want to do is we want to release that and make space for what is meant for us and what's meant for our highest good. Keep our channels open to receive, keep our channels open and our minds open to how we're receiving. Sometimes we don't always hear it, sometimes we see it, sometimes we feel it. Be open in all channels. One other thing I wanted to speak on too was divine inspiration. A promise I made to myself in this last month was that when I receive ideas that I consider divine inspiration and that I consider to be, you just kind of have a different feeling about it. It's one of those aha moments where the light bulb literally goes on. And then in that moment, what do you do with it? Do you act on it, or do you just sit with it and let that moment pass? Or do you act on it and then follow that trail, that synchronicity into the next? And I think that's where I'm at. I am following each divine inspiration I have and seeing where it leads me, because there's so many I haven't acted on. And I invite you guys to do the same. If you get an idea of inspiration, write it down, act on it. Even if it's a baby step, even if it's making a tiny plan, even if it's just kind of acknowledging it and putting it to the side, but then coming back to it. Any step that you put towards a goal is still a step. So that's my practice that I'm doing for this moon, and that's my practice for my season right now, is to be grateful for my accomplishments and to really start planting the seeds for the next one. And I invite you guys to do the same. So with that, I'll pass it on to the next one.
Thank you, Anessa. Thank you for that meditation and centered and grounded, and thank you for those practices. All right, next up we have Miss Julie. So Miss Julie, the floor is yours. Miss Julie, you got to unmute.
Details. Of course you would pick me because I had two things I was bouncing back and forth. I have a channeled message, but I think that I'm going to talk about a despacho. It's a traditional, because my background is I am a shamanic energy practitioner. I learned from the techniques and the beliefs and the rituals from the shamans in Peru, the Andes, Chile, and this is a despacho is a traditional Andean tradition. It's a ceremonial offering, um, and very deep in the Indian Inca cosmology. And what it is it's to bring, it's a ritual of gratitude and reciprocity, can't talk, reciprocity. And it's to bring harmony, healing, and balance between humans, nature, and the spiritual world. And it can be done for blessings, it can be done um, for healing, life transitions, protection, abundance, and just to give thanks. Um, and what it is you get like a piece of cloth, and first you prepare your space, then you get this cloth, and it's like paper, and you put things in it for the ritual. You can put things like cocoa leaves are very sacred in South America. You can, if you don't have cocoa leaves, you can substitute bay leaves. Um, those are to hold prayers and intentions, because everything you put in here, you have an intention for. Um, Flowers and petals for beauty, love, and healing. You can put seeds in there for such as grains, rice, or corn for fertility, abundance, and sustenance. Sugar or candy or chocolate for sweetness in life and joy. Shells or small stones is connection to the earth and water. Colored threads or confetti for celebration, weaving, or life blessings. And sometimes some of the shamans put in like a something that's meaningful to you, like tiny crystals, charms, things like that. Um, but and once you've got it all together, you fold it up and you hold it to your heart and basically say a prayer. Let's see. Each item carries meaning. And then once you're finished, you hold it in your hands and you give thanks to Pachamama, the Apus, which are sacred sites, and spirit. And it's basically a gift to Pachamama, to Mother Earth. And it's not just an offering, it's a living prayer blessing, or prayer bundle. And by giving back to um, earth and spirit, you're restoring Aini, which is reciprocity. For some reason, I cannot say that word tonight. Reciprocity, which is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because whenever we receive, we want to give back in gratitude. And they are very big into reciprocity. I cannot say that word for the life of me. But once you have this bundle, you set your intentions, you said your prayer over it, then you can either burn it for a quick transformation and release to the heavens. You can bury it to nourish Pachamama or Mother Earth with your intentions, or you can offer it to water. You can let it flow and carry your prayers outward. So there's different ways you can do it. It's just depending on what your intuition is and how you're being called to honor nature, honor spirit, honor Mother Earth. Guess that's all I have. If there's time, I do have a channeled message, but I think I've probably taken enough time.
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I'll talk fast. All right. As the trees start to drop their leaves with the coming season, so should you look back at the previous months and acknowledge how far you have come. Many of you have doubts about your progress, and that's okay. You have all made progress, and this corn moon is a pivotal point leading to more abundance and manifestations. The trick is to allow it to take place. No control, no desired outcomes. Just go with the flow. Follow your intuition and allow it to guide you, no matter what it is telling you. When you resist the flow, it keeps you from the abundance you deserve. Abundance is your birthright. Yet many of you live in doubt and fear. This lack mentality keeps you in a sense of lack. Be grateful for all you have in the here and now. Don't worry what the future may bring, because the future is not predestined. Trust that everything will arrive on time and allow it to unfold naturally and organically. When you stay in the sense of fear or lack, it causes resistance and pushes it further away. Trust the universe, and we will provide. The universe never says no. So if you ask for strength, we give you situations to build your strength and resilience. Instead, ask for ease. If you ask for financial gains, we put you in situations to demonstrate that you already are abundant and have everything you need. Be grateful for all you have each and every day, for you are truly abundant and are so loved. Namaste.
Namaste. That was a beautiful channeled message, Miss Julie. Thank you so much. And thank you for that little bit of honoring the land. That is much appreciated.
Absolutely.
Next, we have up Miss Sue.
Can you hear me? Hi, everybody. I am I've studied in a Western esoteric mystery school, the Solomonic lineage. I've studied and been initiated and been working this tradition as a healer and a teacher as well. And I've also study and teach earth magic in the Wicca tradition. And so some of my favorite things is working with these energies, the cycles, the wheel of the year, and the astrological beings that are here to help us. And these astrological beings are also on their path, their own path of progression, just like we are. And we're all connected. And so this corn moon, as Anessa described, is really, it's about the harvest and about gratitude. This it's called a corn moon because it happens in September when we harvest the corn. And when we harvest, it's a community event and there's great celebration. This corn moon is in Pisces, which is deep, and the Neptune is very involved in Pisces. And so these are the deep waters that we are working in right now. And this corn moon brings waves of emotional, intuitive and sacred energy. And it invites us to surrender and to explore the depths of spirit and let go of what no longer serves us. And so I was talking about sitting outside the energy being weird. It's the more we dive into these energies, the more we see we become a part of it. And we're not separated. And it always boggles my mind how prevalent and alive they are. And this moon illuminates what's hidden underneath the surface, what's been weighed down by beliefs or patterns that we've outgrown. So it encourages us to release, forgive, and it adds a soft power of psychic insight. The moon is very watery. The eclipse season also, we have an eclipse on the 7th as well as on the 22nd. So this is a very powerful, powerful month. And the eclipse amplifies all these energies. The full moon, as we know, the hospitals, the first responders, people, the police are very busy because these energies really affect people, amplify. And so you might be experiencing heightened emotions, unexpected clarity, breakthroughs might arise, and delivering transformation where our mind meets our heart. So meditation, our dream work, ritual hold extra potency now. And the 7th, the lunar eclipse also brings deep, in addition to everything that the Pisces full moon brings, this is like an additional amplification of energies. And you might notice more deep emotional, spiritual cleansing. Things that have been hidden are amplified, magnified. You might notice that there are some dramatic endings, revelations, and opportunities to realign our soul. And so I love this. And like Anessa said, this is a really great time to let go of what no longer serves you. Journaling is very potent right now. Creating a gratitude list softens the blows of going deep and keeping our energy high. We can ask ourselves, what has ripened in me that I can celebrate? And at the same time, we're being asked to let go of the things that no longer serve us, cutting the dead wood from our life. And so we can ask ourselves, what weight am I laying down? What can I let go of so that I can move lighter into the next season? And so this is a time where we can trust the reset. We are being asked to grow. The beings and all the seen and unseen world is here working with us and supporting us. And so it's really a valuable time to get quiet, sit and be in nature, and trust the reset, even if it might feel sudden or disruptive. Trust that the eclipse is clearing the way for something truer for your soul. And I just feel really blessed to be here with you and here with my partners in crime, that we can do this together, because in community there's more joy, there's celebration. And even when it can be challenging, we lift each other up. So thank you for showing up tonight and being here with us. That's my gig.
you, Miss Sue. We appreciate you and that information. Next up, we have Kimberly. So the floor is yours.
Hey guys. So I am Kimberly Loveridge, and I'm a fourth generation psychic medium, medical intuitive, as well as a holistic life coach. And so, what this corn moon means to me, I don't mean to reiterate what everybody else has said, but I find it really about, as Sue said, honoring Mother Earth, and or maybe it was Julie Pachamama, yes. So honoring Mother Earth, as well as finding gratitude. And I think gratitude is important because it's like there's a game called Fortunately and Unfortunately. So if you're having a bad day, you come home, oh my gosh, I just got a nail in my tire, unfortunately. But fortunately, you're coming home to a healthy family and you've got a roof over your head. Life is not too bad. And you learn to flip that script. So gratitude just gives more gratitude. Give yourself a rest right now. Because if we give it our all, if you are giving whatever you've set your mind to 100%, that is perfection to me. If you have done your best, pat yourself on the back for that. You did it. So it is a good time to, as we go into the colder months, maybe sit with the year, sit with what we've been through. What are the lessons, that we have learned through this and from this? So what no longer serves us? Very easy, the negative self-talk. That's our, unfortunately, but fortunately, unhealthy external energy. So those friends that are exhausting to you because they're taking up all of your energy without reciprocating. Um, we all love TikTok, but let's not love it for 4 hours straight. Things like that. Also held back blockages. What are the things that you have already had a preconceived idea that won't work for you? Anything is possible. Anything. There's a way around everything. And that's what we need to start discovering within ourselves. And I think with the colder months coming up, I think we need to reevaluate that. We are stronger than we think we are. So that's really it for me. I feel like a lot was already said and uncovered, and it was beautiful. So I don't want to go on just, rehashing. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm so thankful that all of you are here because I do believe we heal together.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that.
Welcome.
I guess it's my turn now. Uh, so my name is Angel. Most of you know me. So I'm going to talk on something else that's following this portal, the 999 portal. Nine. I love the number nine. So what I wrote down, nine is about heart healing, ending of old patterns, conclusions. How fitting this follows this potent Pisces moon, right? So now we're releasing old patterns. So right now is the time that, like everybody else said, just to sit down and I like to say, go back through them old journals, right? The ones you haven't read where you've been journaling emotions, journaling fit stuff, and find those repeating patterns that are ready to let go. And use some of these practices. Write those patterns down. I'm ready to release self doubt. I'm ready to release fear. Fold that paper 3 times away from you underneath this beautiful moon. Burn that paper and imagine that those emotions are burned. But when you write on this paper, don't just write it. Put those emotions, those negative emotions on that paper. Feel the emotion as you write it. because you're releasing this emotion. So don't just write it like, oh, I'm like, no, I want you to put the emotion pen to paper and feel it. Fold it away from you, burn it, give it to Mother Earth, and ask her to replenish you with the feeling of worthiness, the feeling of self-love, the feeling of being here, right? She responds quickly, right? We don't realize that, but when you got your feet when you got your feet on the ground and you talk to her, she responds. She does not ignore you. I absolutely love Mother Earth for that. Something else that I did. So a year ago, I'm gonna tell you a short story. A year ago, I sat down with a journal, and I was looking for that journal. That's what took me so long to get on. I planned out my day. I was still working in a 9 to 5 job. I was coming home exhausted. I was still doing channelings once a month here, once a month here. I was exhausted. So one day I sat down, it was about this time of year, and I wrote down what my day would look like based off of my passions. And I took that paper and I planned it out. In the mornings, I'd wake up, go to the gym, I'd have some tea, I'd sit outside, I'd check my emails. And I put that up on a board so I could see it. Well, lo and behold, I thought it would be, maybe 3, 5 years from now. Now, this is in September of last year. In February of last year, guess what happened? That paper that I had wrote, I was thrown into that life. So don't think that when you write something that goes on and it's going to happen immediately. Understand that our guides, our ancestors are all working to it. So in the morning, something I would say during this time is give gratitude to those ancestors and beings and spirits that are working with you because they're with you and they're working with you to co-create. We co-create with them. But I absolutely love this time. This is definitely a time to sit down and evaluate what you've accomplished, what you've let go of, release whatever's left in your energy field, and plan out where you want to be. And just a simple trick for me is writing down what my day to day looked like if I was in my passion 100%. And here we are in my passion 100%. So that is all I have. Well, there's a few missing pieces there because I still ain't wrote the book they told me to write 10 years ago, and I still ain't done other stuff. But we getting there. Don't worry about that. It's coming. It's coming. So um that is all I have. Anybody else got anything? Anybody else want to add anything to this? Um, I find it interesting right now, and you guys can chime in since we don't have any questions. So the floor is open for questions. What I find interesting is how heavy these emotions are coming up for people right now. Are y'all experiencing this? Are y'all seeing this? Any advice to give people who are heavy? These emotions are not just, they're not gently coming up anymore. With this potent energy, I'm noticing people are getting hit. Any help for people to help them, ground? We're seeing a lot of that lately.
So, Angel, I think that, and I would just kind of want to piggyback on what you were saying about what your routine would look like daily. And there's something there within that because a routine is what keeps you accountable, and a routine is what builds the habit. A routine is what strengthens the muscle, the intuitive muscle. You use it, you use it. And the connection to our guides, we're talking, we're having conversations, we're receiving. So, make it a practice to, maybe you can't go into full meditation, but maybe you can just say a prayer, or maybe you can bring in some protection, or maybe you can set an intention for the day, but get yourself a daily practice that you can check in on. And because, this is something that evolves over time. And, there's no, all of a sudden, I mean, I guess sometimes it does happen where it feels like a light switch flips and like all of a sudden we have something new that happens. But mostly when we're talking about our journey, it is a journey. It is an everyday experience, and just along the way stopping to like smell the roses and really be thankful and grateful for the accomplishments where we're at, and just have a daily ritual around it, because the more you practice, the better you get, and that's at anything, you know.
And something I didn't add to that was that I started being that way every day. I still had to go to a 9 to 5, but in my mind, my mindset, it wasn't when I went to work, it was, I'm here doing what I love. So it was never like, so I've switched my mindset. So every day I woke up, I was waking up at the time I said I'd wake up. When I got off of work, I was working on the things that was in my schedule. So it was natural, it was a natural transition. So just to live in that way. Does anyone have any suggestions on how to raise your vibration and keep it high?
Oh, I got this one. I got this one. All right. So when we're raising our vibrations, remember when we're melding with spirit, they're up here, we're here. They're trying to come down here, we're trying to come up here. So what I found is whoever is sitting in front of me or whoever is my client, you're sending love not only to them, but to the spirits around them. And one thing that never fails is one of the highest vibrational things for me is a sense of humor. These people that pass over can be hysterical, absolutely hysterical. And when I start to look at the person and, kind of poke around, see if they're, do you have the sense of humor? Some of them don't, but a sense of humor and obviously unconditional love are going to raise those vibrations exactly where they should be.
Yep.
You can't take life so seriously that you can't find some humor in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And something that I tell my clients, if you have kids, follow your kids around for a day. If you have young kids, do what they would do for a day. Don't ask any questions. Follow your young kids around for a whole day and bring your inner child out. And you're going to be surprised at the fun you have and how that raises your vibration, because kids naturally help raise the vibration because everything they want to do is fun. So you might be building mud pies with them. You might be playing an imagination game with them. You might, whatever it is, if you have kids, just follow them around for a day. Instead of them following you, follow them and see what you end up into. So I'll go follow my
Mm-hmm.
nieces and nephews, and we have some adventures.
I think that's wonderful advice. I think a childlike attitude is is everything. And I think
Yeah.
children don't care what they look like. Does someone think I'm a Republican or a Democrat? Am I too heavy? Am I too thin? And they don't care. They're present. They're very present. And they have found the magic that's all around us. So we can't lose sight of that. They know,
Mhm.
and it has been conditioned out of them. Hopefully, not everybody, but hello, life does that. So I think that's great advice, Angel.
Yeah. Well, and if I could add something to that as well, I remember probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or I can't remember the time frame now, but I was asking for my purpose. I was at a point in my life where I was not happy. I didn't like what I was doing. I felt stuck. And I kept thinking to myself, is this it? Is this, I'm not doing this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I can't do this. This is not making me happy. What is it that does make me happy? And, I started to meditate about it. I started to think about it. And I started to ask myself, what used to make me happy? When's the last time what was the happy? Where did I find that? What were my passions? And then I found out it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going back to honoring what 13-year-old me would love, making jewelry, crystals, fairies, unicorns, that's why I make jewelry now. It makes me happy. It reminds me of the passions that it's my original loves, that crystals. I've always loved crystals, making jewelry, beadwork I used to do. And, that's a wonderful advice, is to be in that childlike vibration, because finding your happy place, literally finding your happy place and finding your passions, what sets your heart ablaze, is where we all want to be, right? And for me, it was going back to what made me happy as a child. And that was so powerful what you guys both just said. Amazing.
I'll also add, music makes my vibration go high. And, if I'm feeling the beat and I'm dancing around in my living room, even higher. Creativity, getting into my passions, I used to do a lot of needlework and artwork, and which I haven't done lately, but that always used to raise my vibration as well. But the music, that's, as well as what everyone else said, those are all great suggestions. But that's just, whatever makes you happy. Watching a funny movie. If you're laughing, your vibration is high. If you're feeling love, your vibration is high. That's how you stay in a high vibration.
I love all of your thoughts. One of the things, like each of us is going to have unique needs, fun and music and movement and um, all of that is important, but I think it's also like this is something really valuable to explore. Because light is a wave. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. Guess what? It's going to go down. It's going to go up. And so we're in this constant flow. And one of the things that for me, sitting on my deck this summer, I'm in a big transition of recreation, and so it's been, up and down. And one of the things that I think is really helpful, first of all, is not judging it. If our life goes up and down, it's not a judgment about us. It's not spirit rejecting us. It might just be energy. And what do we need to support ourselves? Maybe, like Julie said, she needs to take out her needlework or turn the music on, or somebody else said, play with children, like, and then write it down in your spiritual journal so that it's right there. It's right there. What do you need? What makes your soul happy, even even in the moments of change?
I love dancing too and sitting on my all of that because I will cleaning. What's your love language too? That's another way. That just brought up a good question for yourself. Not your love language to give some to somebody else. What's your love language for yourself? What do you do to say, oh my gosh, I just really loved me, right? That's another way to raise your vibration. Some people call it self-care, but for me, a love language is cleaning. I'm like Miss Julie. I'll turn on some music loud as I can through the house. I have every speaker with the same song on throughout the house, and I will clean. But I love the smell of like cleanness. The outside, I use like a lot of outside fragrances. That's me. Or I'll go outside and just sit in the ground and look. So what's a love language for you too? That's another way to raise your vibration is giving yourself that unconditional love for self. Um, so are there any more questions tonight?
Angel, I wanted to address something that you brought up about the strong emotions right now. And I think when those happen for us, I think it is important to sit in that emotion and let it flow through you. Find the catharsis to it. It feels good. At the time, maybe not, but at the end, when you have calmed, it feels better. The other thing is not to find fault with yourself if you're overly emotional about something. That's okay. There is no one telling you you cannot have that emotion. No one can invalidate that. Only you can. The other thing is breath work, and very popular is I believe it's called box breath work, where you're doing the 4 in through the nose, 4 out through the mouth. Do that 4 times, do a set of 4. And sometimes that is will enable us to center where we feel we've got a little bit more control. But by all means, if it needs to get out, let it out. It feels good. It's what we're supposed to do.
That is true because I will sit in the middle of my field in my yard and I will cry like a baby. I just did it 2 weeks ago because I had some issues with the animals. I was sitting in the middle of my pasture just crying with all the animals looking at me like, what is wrong with you? And I felt better and I got up and I was like, I'm just playing. I'm not getting rid of y'all. Let me feed you. And I went on about my way. But I listened to those emotions. So and that was kind of like now I know there's a lot of heightened emotions right now. A lot of people traumas coming up. A lot of people is having insecurity, self-doubt. And we are here for you guys. And that's what we're here for. And so, that's some great practices, Kim. Anybody else want to chime in the practices you may be given that can help people because we're all on different levels of this journey. But I know a trend I am seeing right now is a lot of emotions are stirring with the people and they're trying to figure out how to process them right now.
I'll
Yes,
go.
Miss Julie.
Um,
Go ahead, Julie. Yeah.
there's another type of 4-4 breath that's a shamanic one where it's 4 in, hold it at the top for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold it at the bottom for 4. If you do that repeatedly, it will get you out of fight or flight. I would do that. The other one is to breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 6. Whenever you are breathing out for longer than you're breathing in, it helps put you in that parasympathetic state where you are coming out of fight or flight. I did that when I would go to the doctor's office because I would always get stressed there and they would always find my high blood pressure. But I started doing that and my blood pressure was normal. And I had been, running into the thing, had to deal with traffic, ran into the appointment. So I was a little stressed, but I did that breathing before my appointment. My blood pressure was normal.
Just a funny joke. I'm the person that drinks a 20-ounce Red Bull and goes and gets my blood pressure checked every time. Every time. I do
Yeah.
it every time.
So what I
Anybody
was
else
going to
got
say is, yeah. So for me, when we're talking about our emotions and addressing them, so I know that a lot of us have been conditioned and taught, to not show emotion or that, it's a sign of weakness if you cry or, if you let something affect you like anger, then you're not as spiritual as you are saying you are because your emotions are affecting you. So, and for me, going through a period of grief in the last year, I have come to just honor myself where I'm at and really just give myself some grace because no matter who you are in this journey right now, we're here as humans. So the human experience that we opted for entails high highs, low lows, and everything in between. Because I had asked myself a million times, why would I do this to myself? Why would I sign up to experience this grief, this loss? Well, and the answer is because I came here for the human experience. I came here because I wanted to experience the beauty in the relationship that I had with the person I lost. And, to have that high high and now that low low was to experience the whole, experience it as a whole. It encompassed the whole thing and so many other beautiful things we experienced. So whatever your emotions you're feeling, whether it's happiness, grief, sadness, anger, I feel like it's important to feel them, not to judge yourself for feeling them. Try to understand and kind of search what it is. Why am I feeling this? Because in that moment, I think our lessons. Why are we being triggered? Why am I feeling this way? What's going on with me that I need to look at to find out why I feel this way? Because I think that's the lesson. And just to give yourself some grace if you're having an emotional time, or if you're lost somebody, or if you get triggered by something, don't let it get to you. Let it go. Yes, try to figure out why, but also don't simmer on it. Don't let it ruin your day. Don't come back to it. Sometimes we hyper focus on things, and, you know, we're here for a lesson. And just remember, we're here for this whole experience, to experience the high highs, the low lows, and everything in between. We're here for this human experience, and find out why you're here. Look into why you think that these things are happening. What am I learning from this? What is the lesson? What's my journey like right now? And, it's a really good way. People have mentioned journaling, but also in that moment, it's a good time to release it and let it go. Ground yourself into Mother Earth, transmute what no longer serves you, release what no longer serves you, and bring in and make room for things that do, because it's a flow, right? We want to release what no longer serves, bring in things that serve us. And I just think that with energy is always flowing. It's never stagnant. And, you know, part of what creates blockages is when we hold on to things. And so I think for me, practicing releasing and giving myself grace has given me a lot of help recently in the last year.
Meditation is hard for me when it's quiet. I think, Sue, I think this is for you. Do you have any recommendations for guided meditation? Many of us want to be quiet when we meditate. That's the key.
Meditation is a practice. So some days I've been meditating for about 50 years. Some days it's easier and some days it's harder. It's a practice. And and I teach a lot of meditation. That's why Angel was pointing at me when we first met. He was like, tell me something. And I was like, meditate, right? Meditation, there's different forms of meditation. In my tradition, we don't use music because there's many reasons. There's a lot of deep esoteric reasons why you would meditate. It's not just to clear the mind, although that's the beginning training, is to get rid of the mind clutter. So there's passive meditation and there's active meditation. So passive meditation is quieting the mind. Active meditation is when you use that quiet mind to do something. So, for instance, if you can practice meditation, passively meditating quietly, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then build it up. It is a muscle. And then when you have a quiet mind, then that's when you can drop a seed. There's many reasons how you, or there's many ways to use active meditation in a magical path. But it's really great for problem solving. I remember having a really difficult challenge in my life and I was beside myself. I was very upset. I felt like my life, I was in a corner and I just kept asking, what can I do? What can I do? And when I got quiet, then a thought dropped into my head. And I followed it, and it was the most brilliant answer. And there's no way I'm not smart enough to come up with that answer. So meditation is really valuable because when we can clear the clutter of our mind, it's kind of like the seaweed and all the stuff, the busy mind, the subconscious. The subconscious speaks to us. We get 350,000 um, impressions per minute. So this is why, if somebody was to have an accident and there were 15 people to witness the accident, there might be many different views depending on the lens we look through, where we're standing. So, and then to get real information, there might need to be hypnosis because the mind stuffs things in. And so with meditation, when we can clean out the mind, and then we can use the higher mind, there's so many things so many benefits. But meditation is really valuable. Science will tell you that it'll lower blood pressure, stress, worry, anxiety, all sorts of things. There's a lot of scientific study for um, for our health. But for as, intuitives, which this group is all interested in, there are a lot of value for meditating. How can we get clear information if it has to go through the filter of all the stuff in our head? Is it real information, or is it our mind? Is it our ego? So there's a lot of benefits. And so did I answer that question?
Just, do you have any recommendations for meditation?
Recommendations. Yes, get rid of the apps, and they will they distract us. If they're good, a place to begin if it's impossible to meditate. But really, you can sit quietly for 5 minutes, focus on the tip of your nose, and that's it. You have to give your mind something to do. So you can focus on the tip of your nose. And then when your mind deviates, and it will, just go back. And then it'll go off, then just go back. So that, walking meditation, there's different, gardening is meditation. Getting into the zone with music can be meditating. And then you're going to fine tune it as a psychic. You want to be able to train your will versus, your will training you. Okay? You're welcome.
Meditate all kind of different ways. Well,
All kinds of different ways.
don't ask me. I got a funny story. I always got a funny story because I'll be in a meditative state and in my own world, and outside, next thing I know, I'm on the ground. I stay on the ground, probably because I'm an earth sign. Maybe I should just go outside and sit on the ground and just live there. Who knows? All
I
right,
have
guys. Go
I
ahead.
have
I'm
one
sorry. Go
more
ahead.
this is super quick. One more recommendation for those starting meditation, hard to quiet the mind. I'm a firm believer in simple. Do a candle meditation. You're focusing on the flame. It's quiet. You're in a dark room. It will consume that busy mind and give you the quiet, listen for exactly what you want. Candle meditation, so easy.
That's a big old flame on that candle.
Yeah.
I know.
I also like listening to shamanic drumming or flute music. That gets me in the zone. If you want a guided meditation, Tony Stockwell is really good. I really enjoy his meditations, and he has ones, I don't know why if you're looking to meet your spirit guide or something like that, because he has meditations for that. Um, so, and it's all very personal because one person's meditation might not work for you. And so you've got to find out what's going to work for you. And I change mine up a bit because sometimes if I'm not getting anything in meditation, then I might try, well, let me try a guided meditation, or let me try walking out in nature, or sometimes just like vacuuming, doing a mundane task, you can get into a meditative state. Or when you're being creative and creating things, that can bring in a meditative state. So you just got to find what's going to work for you.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of free options on YouTube. So just play around and see what works for you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you, everyone. All right. If there are no more questions, we're gonna close it out. I'm gonna have each person will go around, tell kind of what they have coming up, how can you find them, their websites, and we will end this tonight. So we'll start off with, because Kim's doing the closing meditation. So we'll start off with you, Anessa.
Okay. So for me, I have In Tune Healing. I have classes coming up. I've got a new class series I'm calling Ethereal Awakenings, where I am doing a guided journey to meet your guides. So I have that class open and available. It is going to be September 27th. Intuition 101 continues to roll along with energetic hygiene. Energetic hygiene does cover keeping your vibe high. So I'm not sure who asked that question, but that one does cover how to vibe high, how to keep your vibe high on an energetic level. Also crystal healing, the beginner class for that Nicole Renee and I teach, the other approved reader, that will also be in September 2. 26th, I believe, is the day we settled on for that. I have a new service I launched that's a sacred geometry one. It is rooted in Reiki, but it involves channeling sacred geometry from Archangel Metatron and amazing new activations coming through with that. So as always, you can find me in the group, and I believe our websites are listed somewhere, or of course, you know how to reach me here. So
You, Anessa, and then Miss Julie.
Hey, once again, my name is Julie Jean Bassett. I am a animal communicator, pet behavioral specialist, and a shamanic energy practitioner. I have a beginner's animal communication workshop coming up November 20th and 21st. It's a weekend workshop. It's from 12 to probably about 3 each day, and that's Eastern time. I'm also in the process of working on one for animal chakras, because humans have 9 or 7 major chakras in their main or in their body. Animals actually have 9. So I'm going to teach you about those, and what you can do to try and heal them. Also, I've got coming up I'm working on a healing through the medicine wheel using shamanic traditions to help with the healing. So I'm excited for those classes and keep coming up with new ideas that I'm starting to formulate into reality. I've got 2 websites. One is juliejeanbassett.com for my animal communication, and Whitetail Shamanic Healing for my shamanism. but there is some overlap on both of them. So whichever one you get to, you'll probably find out what to book there. And I do have a free 15-minute consultation if you aren't sure what you want to book. So I think that's it for me. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you, Miss Julie. All right, Miss Sue.
Hey, everybody. My website is soulfullyouwellness.com. And I am in the process of writing my calendar for the next 6 months. I am teaching some deep Solomonic initiations and the more advanced classes like sacred geometry, astral travel, and crystal magics, so that you can learn healings and readings and gritting. I'm teaching in Portland in the beginning of October. I'm teaching fire magic if anybody wants to join us. And uh, and then I'm doing initiation in my center in New Jersey in the beginning of November. I also have a retreat in New Jersey down at the shore in October. So reach out. I have free online classes that I'm going to be teaching. So there'll be in-person, online stuff. And I do have a free discovery call on my website. So and other free stuff. So hop on there and grab what you can. So
Thank you, Miss Sue. And then I'll go, and then we'll let Kimberly go and close us out with a meditation. Gosh, you can find me at soulrisehealing.com. I have so many moving pieces right now. You just got to stay tuned. Most of my courses will be taught on my Patreon, though. Everything will be on my Patreon, from my workshops to my courses to my live calls to my live channelings. Mainly my channelings. I'm doing a lot more channelings lately. So if you're interested in joining in on some channelings and asking questions, I will have someone sitting with me to read the questions. That will all be done on my Patreon. But if you just need like some energy healing, deep energy healing, that's me. That's what I do. But you can book on my website a general, just if you need to ask questions. I have something I introduced recently called a clarity call, and that seems to be just positive. You just come and ask questions. You don't need a reading. You just, hey, I got this issue. This is where I'm at in life. Let's talk about it. Let's empower you to figure it out. I'm rolling out a Bridges World courses on my Patreon, and a Galactic course on my Patreon as well. So that's what I have new, and you can find me at soulrisehealing.com. So with that being said, let's take it to Kimberly. So whatever you have coming up, Kimberly, and close us out with a meditation, and we will be good to go.
Okay, so I have coming up October 30th at the Edgar Casey Foundation. I will be doing mediumship gallery readings. It is listed under Whispers Between Worlds. I will also be there on March 26th doing mediumship gallery readings again. And again, it will be for 2026. It's Whispers Between Worlds. This year it is Bridging Realms. I don't know why they're changing it. Also, I do have a podcast coming out, not my podcast, but it's with the Edgar Casey Foundation, called New Awakenings. We taped it today. It should be out in about 10 days on YouTube. So if you look up New Awakenings, they typically put the name right after, and you can view that. And I am available on my website, which is psychickimberly.com. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the closing meditation. So close your eyes and breathe deeply. With each inhale, draw in light, peace, and gratitude. With each exhale, release any heaviness, tension, or worry. Feel your energy gently returning to your body, balanced and renewed. Imagine a soft golden light surrounding you, a shield of protection and love. Silently give thanks to the divine, to your higher self, to the guides and energies who have walked with you in this moment. Know that you are grounded, you are safe, you are whole. Carry this peace with you into the world. So it is, and so it shall be. When ready, open your eyes slowly, bringing this sense of calm with you.
And so it is, and so it is, and so
So
it
it
is.
is.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to all the beautiful people on the panel. We appreciate you. And if you guys are needing to contact us or find us, you all know where to find us. And you can go into the Psychics Medium group, Intuitive group, look under the feature tab or Inner Light Network, and you will find us all there. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Miss Julie, don't forget to
Joining
hit stop
us.
recording to